Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aislinn and you guys should totally subscribe so you don't miss another video. Like today's video where we are doing a yearly wrap-up. I'm so excited. I have all of my books laid out right here. I read 32 books in total and some are on Kindle Unlimited, some are physical, and I'm just super excited to get into these. So my books are all out right here and they're in order of when I read them. I just don't remember exactly the months I read them. But you guys can totally go look on my Goodreads, which is going to be linked down below, and we should totally be besties on there. Yeah. Here are some more stats from my Goodreads that might be interesting to some people. I always find them interesting because I want to know. You know? I want to know. Alright, let's get into the video. So the first book I read in 2023 was A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. This is the third book in the ACOTAR series, and I gave it 3 stars. And I did really enjoy the book, don't get me wrong. I just remember heading into book slump. I had just finished the first 2 books and I read them back to back, so I was like, oh, let me just read the third one, like that won't be a big deal. Was very much a big deal. Should not have done that. But it's okay, because, you know, you live and you learn. Yeah, we're gonna see if I can stack all of my books right here. The next book I read was Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. Here's a picture of it. I actually downloaded it on my Kindle because it was a book for school and I didn't want to have to like lend it, you know, borrow a book. So I was like, let me just buy it myself. I like reading anyways. And it was really good. I don't rate nonfiction books, and this was a nonfiction book. It was about pretty much this man who is trying to get wrongly convicted criminals off of death row. It was really good, like I said. That was probably one of the first books that I actually enjoyed reading at school, so that was really fun. The next book I read was The Bodyguard by Katherine Center, and I gave this book 3.5 stars. I really loved it. It was a cute little fun romance. In this book, the girl, as you can see on the cover, is the bodyguard for the guy, so it's like flip-flop, and I loved it so much. And so he's a superstar and she pretty much has to, like, you know, make sure he's okay, make sure no creepy fans are gonna come and stalk him. It was enjoyable for sure. Alright, the next book I read was Kiss of the Selkie. I don't want to butcher the name, but here's the picture of it. I read this on Kindle Unlimited, and it is a part of the Entangled with Fae series. If you guys watch BookTube, then you will know Sarah Caroli actually read one of these books. I think she read Heart of the Raven Prince, I'm pretty sure. And I think that one's a Cinderella retelling. And the one I read is a Little Mermaid retelling, which is my favorite Disney princess, and I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I will definitely be reading the rest of these in this series because I'm a die-hard Disney fan at heart. Disney girl at heart. Disney girls unite. Alright. Oh my gosh. The next book I read, my first 5-star of the year, drumroll please, was Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, let me tell you, this book has not left my mind since I read it. Because you know what? They made a show. And then you know what? The music in this book, an actual album. Are you kidding me? Everything I need and more. That album, I think, was like number 4 most listened on Spotify this year. So good. Go read it. It's pretty much about this band in the late 60s, and you know, they're coming together, and it's in this like interview style. It's so just go read it if you have not already. Go read it for sure. All right. The next book I read was A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is a little novella in between, after A Court of Wings and Ruin and before A Court of Silver Flames in the ACOTAR series. And I gave this little cutie 4 stars. It was such a quick, easy read. So cute. I loved the novella personally. You don't need to read it, but it was very, very entertaining. The next book I read, I dipped my toes into the Lynn Painter universe and read Better Than the Movies and absolutely died over it. Gave it 5 stars. Recommended it to my best friend. My best friend read it. She loved it as well. Oh, just my angel. I love this book so much. I definitely marked it up, as you can see. Marked her up. And also, as you'll notice throughout the video, I stopped using tabs. I still underline in my books. I just don't like the look of the tabs anymore, and I'm too lazy to go through all of my books and take the ones out that I've already tabbed. So yeah. The next book I read was Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, which my mom actually lent to me. Shout out, Mom. Love you so much. And I gave this book 4 stars. Yes, 4 stars. It was good. I definitely guessed the ending, and I texted my mom. Then I was like, is this what happens? And she was like, just wait, just wait. It was what happened. But it's okay. It was still really good. There was another, twist that I didn't get. So all in all, good thriller. Was my second thriller that I had ever read. I do plan to read more. Don't worry. The next book is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And I loved this book. I gave it 4 stars. I recommended it to my best friend. She died over it. She loved it. Ate it up. She recommended it to another friend. She's eating it up. This book is just getting tossed around in the friend group. I love it so much. I'm so happy that she made a second book, and she's making a third book, if you don't know. I will get to the second book in a minute. But the third book is Daydream. Daydream. And I'm just screaming. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for that book. But yes. That was the next book I read. Alright, then I read another Lynn Painter book. I read The Do-Over. I, first of all, love the pink. Are you kidding? Eating it up. Eating it up. So cute. I gave this book 4 stars as well. I loved it. It's like a groundhog type day thing. I guess that's what people used to call it, where she keeps repeating the day over and over and over again. That's why it's called The Do-Over. It was really cute, Lynn Painter is known for her fluffy romances, and this was definitely that, and that's what I needed, so I loved it. Very good. The next book I read, I dipped my toes into the Emily Henry universe by reading Beach Read. Now let me tell you, I don't remember much about this book, but I do remember giggling and kicking my feet and just eating it up every second. I have people with me on vacation, and I will be reading that this upcoming summer, and I definitely want to get the rest of her books and read them. And I gave this book 4.5 stars. The next book I read was actually a reread. I read One of Us is Lying by Karen A. McManus. I first read this book actually in 8th grade, and I still have it, obviously, and I wanted to reread it because everybody was starting to read it, and I was like, let's see what the hype is all about again. I gave it 3 stars for my reread. It was very enjoyable, definitely YA. Good. I'm also trying not to give super big synopsises and stuff, because I know people like me will, a lot of the times I skip through the synopsises if I hear about a book that I like, because I don't want to know a lot about it. So I'm trying to keep it to a minimum, give y'all the overalls pretty much. Alright, also we're going to completely ignore the congestion. Alright, next I read The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I gave this book 4 stars. And I did really enjoy it. After I read this, I ended up watching the first season of the show because it came out. And I started the second book, but I was not in the mood for it, so I do plan to finish the rest of the series and then watch the rest of the show. So far, I'm gonna be completely 100% honest. I'm liking the show a little bit more just because of the best friend. Because like she's portrayed so rudely in here, I feel like, and she's like not that mean in the, but it's okay. I still really love it. They're gonna get out of order at this point. Let's just make sure that they don't fall, please. I actually read Flawless by Elsie Silver twice. Okay, first let's just take a look at this beauty. She's beautiful. The reason I read it twice is because I first read it on Kindle because her whole series is on Kindle Unlimited, and I just wanted to like try first cowboy romance, you know. I was like, let's just see what this is all about. Yeah, okay, so then I literally loved it and ordered all of the mirror covered books because these are no longer being sold and they're absolutely beautiful. And on all of the chapters, they look like this. Oh, hold on, guys. My battery's literally about to die, and I charged it literally like not that long ago. Oh my gosh. Ah, everything's falling. I will be back. Alright. You're back. They charged camera, Red Bull, breakfast in my stomach. Last I remember, we were at Flawless. Yes. Let me tell you right now, I'm going to be reading this series again. Yes, after I read the last one. But anyways, let's keep going. Okay, maybe I should start putting them this way now. Alright. And then the next book I read was Heartless, which is the second book in Flawless. Oh, and I didn't really explain. So these books take place in a small town called Chestnut Springs. So it's a small town, they're small town cowboy romances, and all of them are a little bit different. I'm not gonna say that, like, that's about all I'm gonna say, because, like, I don't want to give anything else away. But anyways, 5 stars, loved it. Like I said, and like they just look so beautiful next to each other, like all on top of each other too. Ugh, they're just amazing. Alright, next book I read was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. And don't worry, I will be reading Iron Flame, and I also got The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros for Christmas, so I will be reading that as well. But I gave Fourth Wing 5 stars. Loved it. Dragons, love it. And I love Game of Thrones, so the dragons was like chef's kiss for me. Everyone's waking up now. Alright. The next book I read was Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney, and I gave it 5 stars as well. This is a mystery thriller. Sarah Crowley actually read it, and she gave it 5 stars, and she kind of started the rave on this book, and so I finally read it, and I understood the rave. I understood it. Shocked. Jaw on the floor. That's all I'm gonna say. Amazing. Alright, stay. Okay. Next, we have The Inheritance Games. So I first read the first book in the series, and this series is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and it gives me very like Knives Out vibes, if you guys have seen that movie. Like mysteries and clues and riddles and stuff. I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Good book. Then I read the second book in the series, which is The Hawthorne Legacy. And I loved this book as well. I gave it 4 stars, and I do plan to finish the series this upcoming year. I have a lot of series that I need to finish, but it's okay. We're gonna get to them. Alright, we're rounding up on the last of some of the books. So, last year, before I get to this book, last year I read the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber, and I really enjoyed it. It was the first like fantasy type series that I read, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the magical aspect. So this year, she came out with a spin-off series of that called Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I'm letting you guys know that I read the Caraval series because some people read this series first and then the Caraval series, and others vice versa. So I have different opinions on this because, you know, because of the way that I read it, but I still really enjoyed this series. I do think people should read both of them. I think you should read Caraval first because like if you start with this series, the ending of Caraval is going to kind of get spoiled. So if you don't want that, then you should probably read Caraval first. But I gave the first book 4 stars. It was really good. And this takes place in Jax's point of view, which is one of the characters that you meet in the first series. Just so. Hello, this is editing Aislinn. I did not mean it takes place in Jax's point of view. I meant that Jax is the main male character in Once Upon a Broken Heart, which you meet in Caraval. That's what I meant. Sorry for the confusion, y'all. Don't worry. I'm on it. Good. So cute and so fun. And then I read The Ballad of Never After. And as you see, they're hardbacks now because I bought them when they came out. And I gave this book 5 stars. I loved it. It was really good. I read it super quickly. And they're just like so beautiful. Like, I have 4 copies. Like, I have 2 copies of the 3rd book because I'm crazy, but you know, it's okay. But then I read the last book, which is A Curse for True Love. So beautiful, so pretty. And I gave this book 3 stars. I went into this book with really, really high expectations and I kind of let myself down. But it's still a really good read. I still really enjoyed it. And I definitely think you guys should read this series if you have not already. Alright. And then back to Maple Hills. I read Wildfire by Hannah Grace, which is the 2nd book in this little like romance series. I rated it 4 stars. It was so cute. It takes place, it's dual POV, which I love, 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 love. So good. And like, this is so adorable, and them together, just so pretty. Alright, the next book I read was Powerless by Elsie Silver, which is the 3rd book in the series. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, tears, tears, tears. So good. 5 stars, 5 stars. Could marry a book if I could. Like, if I could like reread this series for the first time again, I would. In a heartbeat. That's for sure. And then next, to end the Sarah J. Maas ACOTAR series, I read A Court of Silver Flames, which actually ended up being the longest book that I've read this year and the biggest book that I've read so far. And I definitely want to read Throne of Glass, and I know Kingdom of Ash is like 1,000 pages or something, so that'll be so much fun. I gave this book 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. When I was finally in the mood to read it, I sped through it. I was crying, I was highlighting, underlining. Oh my gosh. Just so amazing. So good. Okay. Oh. Next, I read Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. OMG. OMG, OMG, OMG. I'm constantly thinking, this is definitely one of the books that I'm constantly thinking about on my mind 24/7, all day long. Even 5 stars, obviously. So good. So, so, so good. If you've not read it, go read it. It's obviously, as you can tell, small town cowboy romance. I would definitely call it a slow burn, in my opinion. I mean, it's very short, which I loved. And I want to get into more like actual slow burns. Like, I have Binding 13. That book terrifies me. The font, minuscule. And I wear glasses. I don't have good vision. I'm wearing contacts right now. So I'm like, I can't see good as it is. Man, but it's okay. We do what we gotta do for the books that we love. Alright. Next, I read The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston? Yeah. Ashley Poston. 5 stars. So good, so cute. Another one of the books that's always on my mind all the time. Anytime lemon pie or lemons is mentioned, so cute. And what's really funny is that I read these books like both back to back, and both the main female characters are named Clementine, but they have 2 different nicknames, and it was so cute. I just really enjoyed that. It was just such a cute little thing. Next, I read The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. And, okay, when I say 3 stars, like, it's still a good book. Like, I definitely would recommend this. It gives me, like, when I was reading it, I definitely pictured, like, Disneyland, kind of, like, when they were, like, explaining, you know, the stuff. But I do have the second book. I do plan to finish the series. I do really like it, and yeah, it's just so good. And they're all so pretty. Like, oh my gosh. Just books are so pretty. Like, oh, wow. Next, I read Mile High by Liz Tomford, and I gave it 3 stars. It was so cute. I also plan to finish that series. I know that a lot of people had mixed reviews on that book, but I personally enjoyed it. I related very closely to the FMC. So that was just really nice and cute, and I loved it. Okay, and then to conclude my Lynn Painter collection, I read Betting on You. This is actually the book of the month for Destiny Sidwell's book club. If you don't watch her, go watch her. Literally love her. But I read this. It was so cute. I gave it 3.75 stars. Like I said, I did really enjoy it. Personally, I felt it was a little too long. Like, it could have been a little shorter. But all in all, still really enjoyed it. Still think, like, go read it. Okay. And last but not least, I read Reckless by Elsie Silver, which is the 4th book in this Chestnut Springs series. 5 stars. Speechless. So good. So good. So cute. I love it. Love, 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 love. I literally was telling my best friend, like, I was dragging it out. I had, like, this much left, and I just was like, I'm not gonna read it. Like, I'm gonna do something else. Like, I don't want to read it right now. I need to do something else. Because I just never wanted it to end. And now I only have one last book left in that series, but it's okay, because she has more series and she's coming out with a new one, so. Alright, everybody, that is the end of my 2023 wrap-up. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know what your guys' favorite book that you guys read this year was. I think mine was definitely, I couldn't even decide. Maybe either Done and Dusted definitely is one of the top contenders, or the Chestnut Spring series, because I just, like, am in love with it and can never not stop thinking about it. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Oh, they're all gonna fall, they're all gonna fall. Go up. Okay, goodbye.